Thank you, Bridget. So I'd now like to invite Matt Bull up onto the stage. Matt's a coach of Hot Shots, and he also won an Excellence Award for his involvement. He's going to talk to us a bit about his experiences and the format generally. Thank you, Matt.
Well, this is a bit different to being on the tennis court, but anyway. What I'm going to do today is give you a brief overview of modified tennis and the MLC Tennis Hot Shots program. I'm also going to talk to you about the successes that I've had, with my program. As many of you will know, MLC Tennis Hot Shots is Tennis Australia's official starter program. It's equivalent to the AFL Auskick and Milo Inter-Cricket program in that the sport is scaled down to suit the age and size of the player. MLC Tennis Hot Shots is for children aged 5 to 12 years and is split into red for 5 to 8-year-olds, orange for 8 to 10s, and green for 10 to 12 years. Each colour has its own low compression ball and court size, and there are a range of racket sizes to suit the height of the child. Okay, so why modified tennis? I ran my very first modified lesson when I was 15. That's 20 years ago. So I've been heavily involved in modified tennis back in the UK, and that was when we used a long plastic bat and a sponge ball. So things have come on, particularly in the last 2 or 3 years, they've come on quite significantly in respects of the equipment that's available to us. But, because of the amount of time I've spent in the game, I'm really passionate about children learning through modified tennis, and believe that no child should be learning with the yellow ball anymore. Now, one of the most important reasons why modified tennis works is the height of the balls and the height in which they bounce. So it's just a lot easier for the kids to learn how to hit, because the ball is bouncing at the optimal height for their size. So they get to hit and rally, and it's just a lot easier for them. And obviously, the easier it is, the more they're going to enjoy it. The kids watch the tennis on the TV and then turn up and want to do the same. And in the past, the yellow balls, because of the pressure in them, was just sort of bouncing too high. So at least now, with the modified balls and the courts, we can get children rallying and playing points from the very first lesson. Sorry. So look, what does this mean? It means that it's a lot easier for the kids to play. It means that they progress a lot faster. They have longer rallies, and of course, with all of that, they're going to just have a whole lot more fun. Which means then that really we create more players. The standard of the players is a lot better. With that, we have a bigger pool, and hopefully out of that, we're going to develop some potentially good players, and then hopefully maybe even some Grand Slam champions. I just want to finish the slide by saying that it's inevitable that we're going to lose junior players when they sort of get to university age. It's typical for all sports. But I think if we can get the players to a good standard before that time, there's no doubt that they'll be back in the sport again, which again just grows the whole sport. Okay, so I just want to talk to you now about my program and the successes that I've had with it. It's interesting, Rob was talking about the importance of the 5 to 9 years, and that's a big focus of my program. Children are trying a lot of different sports at that age, and if we can make a good first impression, then I'm hoping that it will become one of their favourites, if not their favourite. Kids at this age are developing at different rates, and so this affects what we can work on with them. And so my program focuses on some of those important skills, which include things like reception, obviously a lot of motor skill work, and movement skills. Probably most importantly, with the RED program, it's all about having loads of fun, so we've got a lot of variety, and you know, we tend to find that, you know, they do love it, and they want to come back term after term. Another very important aspect of our program are our performance squads. So we take a look sort of every term at our players, and the ones that are starting to show some signs of potential, we invite them to join a red, orange or green performance squad. And this is really where we start to encourage them to play 2 or more times a week. With this, we push the kids a lot further and faster, and this is where we notice a huge increase in the players' enthusiasm, and obviously the standard as well starts to, you know, they start to get better and better. Tournaments are an integral part of our program, and we try to organise an official challenge event at the end of each term. The tournaments are good because they give the kids something sort of to work towards during the term, and it's good on the day because, you know, we get to see, you know, what it is that they need to do, what they're good at, and what we need to work on in the future. Another positive of the tournaments are, you know, from the parents' perspective, you know, the parents get to actually spend some time watching their kids playing in the tournaments, and there's nothing better than, you know, the parents when their kids are doing particularly well. We tend to find that for the kids that are playing in the tournaments, they do tend to book up the following term. So that's a very important part of our program. Just want to touch briefly on our in-house training. I'm a big one to try and have all of my coaches do their Tennis Australia Junior Development Coaching qualifications. But we also have our in-house training program for our RED program. Again, because of the complexities of this age group, it's just important that, you know, my staff know exactly what it is and what skills we need to work on in order for, you know, the standard of our program for that age group to be of a high level. Okay, underpinning all of this really is that, you know, at the end of the day, I really care about my players and how they're progressing. So I'm constantly communicating with parents and the players about how they're going, what it is they need to do, and you know, what's the next level for them, and what we're going to do to get there. Okay, so results. With the focus on a RED program, a really good RED program, our performance squads and our tournaments, we've now got hundreds of kids playing tennis at our club. So what does this mean in respects of numbers? Just to give you a background on my program. It's based at Onslow Park Tennis Club, which is in Shenton Park. For anyone who knows Perth well, it's located right next door to Kings Park. We have 11 courts, 9 of which are grass and 2 are hard courts under lights. We're currently, hopefully in the next 6 months, we're going to be turning another 2 of those grass into hard courts as well. So that'll give us a nice bank of hard courts, which will make things easier for us during the winter. I've been at the club for 18 months, and we've got, you know, phenomenal numbers there considering that short space of time. We're just coming towards the end of our second summer there, so you know, I'm really happy with the numbers that we have. So now just talk to you about the numbers. We have over 300 players involved in our Hot Shots program as of 2010, and out of those 300 we had 570 enrolments for the year. I've just had my stats in for term 1 of 2011, and we already have an increase of over 25% compared to term 1 of 2010. So I'm a very happy man at the moment. Another thing that I'm incredibly proud of with the program is our retention rates, and really this is the key to getting a lot of kids into the sport. It's all well and good us getting kids into the sport and playing once, but we've got to make them come back. So for us, 73% of players are playing 2 terms or more during 2010. Obviously we have a bit of a drop-off for winter time, but we're obviously working hard to make sure that those kids definitely come back at least for summertime. Now earlier on we talked about creating that big pool of players, which is obviously what Tennis Australia and we're all trying to do. From my perspective, I'm doing exactly the same, and I'm trying to create my big pool of players, and hopefully then going to find some good players amongst them. In 2006, I started working with a girl called Megan Kaufman. She started playing orange ball, and she's currently in the top 10 in the country for 14 and unders. And just recently, Connor and Tom, they've just started with me at 6 and 7 years of age. They've just won their first couple of 10 and under tournaments. I expect in the next year they'll be playing nationals. And we also have 4 to 6 kids that I believe will be moving through to playing nationals in the next 18 months. So just going back, it's important that we have lots of kids playing, but there's also this end goal, which is, we do want to get some champion players out of this as well. Okay, so this afternoon we're all going to get out there on the courts and try some cardio tennis and hot shots. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all out there on the courts. I suppose I just want to finish by saying that, I strongly believe modified tennis is the way to go. And, I urge all state associations, anyone involved in clubs, facilities and coaching, if you're not already on board with modified tennis, then please get involved for the betterment of Australian tennis. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. So we have 2 more